I'm your host, Marcus Collins, and welcome to the TNA Impact Wrestling Weekend Review. Like I said, I'm your host, Marcus, the administrator of TNA. I want to give a shout out to, as always, our chairman, Aaron J. Howard, co-chairman, which is Ernestine Long Collins, my wife, also the daughter of former general manager SmackDown, Ted Long. Yes, they are related, so you can kind of look at me and my wife in PWC as the PWC's version of the Authority. Um, also, Thomas Sicker, he's also the admin for TNA. He calls a lot of the action on Friday nights because I'm usually at work and unable to actually do it. So I want to give a big shout out to you, all the other admins everywhere, especially Jasmine and Alexander Lauren, who is now the, let me get this right, PWC Legacy Trivia World Heavyweight Champion. And she's also represented by Dick Smith, who is also a member of PWC, and he's her manager, and they are like the he's like the Paul Heyman of the PWC. So we got a lot of big things going on here in PWC. So uh, let's get straight into the action. We opened with Kurt Angle coming out, thanking everybody that helped him in Lethal Lockdown last week. Uh, then he calls out Bobby Lashley. Bobby was like, well, don't thank me. He was like, well, really, I'm not thanking you. I'm just letting you know that I want a shot at your title. I'm liking the way everything is set up here because basically they just cut straight to the chase. I mean, it's nothing personal, just business. Everybody wants a shot at the title. That's the difference between TNA and WWE. The storylines just make a whole bunch of sense. Um, they out there in the middle of the ring. Next thing you know, here comes uh, the Beatdown Clan comes out. MVP comes out. Next thing you know, a main event is set up. Bobby Lashley say, yeah, I'll fight you. But the only way I'll fight you, I'm on the team with Kurt Angle. Beatdown Clan said, okay, two of us will wrestle. You just don't know. Didn't find out who the two was until the main event. And I'm going to let you know when we come up to the main event. Okay, going on through is we had the 2-on-3 handicap match between EC3 and Tyrus, which is entertaining as well. Rockstar Spud, uh, Mandrews, and Jeremy Morash. For some reason, EC3 wants to cut Rockstar Spud's hair. He just wants to humiliate him, which Jasmine will remember this because he's the trivia champion. Used to be matches like this a long time ago, back in the day. I mean, the old days of NWA and everything like that. WWE just got away from all that. It was loosely time matches, hair matches, all that good stuff. Just don't see it anymore. Of course, EC3 them won the match, and as he was getting ready, as EC3 was getting ready to cut his hair, Rockstar Spud's hair. Uh, Next thing you know, lights go out. Who do you see in the middle of the ring but Mr. Anderson? Yes, he comes back, puts a beat down on EC3, low blows Cyrus, and hey, so it's on. That's gonna be an interesting matchup between EC3 and Mr. Anderson. Glad to see him back. Haven't seen him since Aces and Eights. Haven't seen him in a while. Um, it's gonna be a 20-man gauntlet next week, and that's for number one contender of the World Heavyweight Championship, which is gonna take place on the Friday, which is the 27th. So that's, you check that out on Destination America. Moving right along, we got the Bobby. Well, actually, I skipped. The Bobby Roode and Austin Aries match came next after Kurt Angle. That was the very next match after Kurt Angle, the intro. That was an entertaining match as well. Real good, fast pace, great performance. Bobby Roode actually gave Austin Aries A lot of props said he was proud to wrestle in the ring with him. Good sportsmanship. Next thing you know, from behind comes Eric Young, knocks him out, picks him up, and power drives him in the middle of the ring. That's one thing I haven't seen in WWE anymore either. Uh, you don't see a tombstone anymore. You don't see any power drivers anymore. But he laid him out. As the referees is carrying him out, next thing you know, Eric Young knocks the referees down, security down, and power drives him on the stage. So we're gonna keep you informed as to what's going on with that as well. That's a really, really nice grudge right there. Bobby Roode can't even concentrate on getting the title back for dealing with Eric Young. Uh, so the E Factor got his hands full. A grudge that's really kind of crazy, but I didn't even know this grudge took place, but it's really good. It's this guy named Grado, who was a contestant on the British Boot Camp 2, and actually Rockstar Spud won it. Uh, he's got a grudge against Al Snow. Al Snow said he doesn't think he's worthy of being in wrestling, period. Grudge going on. Al Snow went out there to the man's mom. The mom slapped him. Grado's mom slapped him. He went to try to grab on the mom. Then Grado comes out there and pushes him down. Al Snow challenges him to a match, which is next week. And so he said he's going to prove once and for all you know, he doesn't deserve to be there. So we're going to have to you know, keep that locked and see how that turns out as well. The next thing is Beatdown Clan attacks Gunner backstage, take him out. So the Beatdown Clan is running rampant, doing whatever they want to do. I kind of like that because it looks like a strong faction in TNA. So they they they're using all their wrestlers. They doing everything they need to do to be in the right position. Like I said last week, to actually compete with WWE. And they keep on this road, then they're gonna be a powerhouse. Trust me. Uh, After that, we see the TNA knockouts. Madison Rain comes out. She's talking, 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 and all of a sudden we keep hearing music about to hit. She's talking, talking, talking. Music about to hit. Next thing you know, guess who the music hits? Awesome Kong. Well, what can you say about Awesome Kong except for the fact that if she was over in the WWE, no diva would stand a chance because she's been running through every knockout in TNA. She did something that looks like a pedigree, picked her up, middle of the air, pow, slammed her. 1, 2, 3. I mean, that match probably lasted about a good 2, 3 minutes. I mean, Awesome Kong, Awesome Kong. Uh, also remember pay-per-views coming up one night only. Check your local listings for that. Plus, PWC is going to be letting you know with all the links and everything like that, so you can watch that that's TNA's pay-per-view that's coming up one night only. So we're going to let you know exactly when that's coming up. So check us out on Facebook, of course. That's Pro Wrestling Chat, PWC. Uh, Jeff Hardy condition update. We were trying to find out. Matt Hardy came out there. Uh, he was talking about Jeff just as he was getting ready to let us know how Jeff was doing. Revolution comes out. James Storm come out, tells Matt if you don't join, you're gonna be in the hospital bed next to your brother. They commence to put the beat down on him, and out of the blue, here comes the Wolves to come out and say today. And so that's probably going to end up being the Wolves and Matt Hardy against three of the members of Revolution next week. So keep your eye out for that. That's a nice little grudge. I'm liking they got a lot of good individual wrestlers, but they got a lot of nice factions too, which we've gotten away from the factions in the WWE right now. It's really not a faction. I mean, because you can't really count Seth Rollins and J&J Security. Okay. Moving right along. The Beatdown Clan take out Austin Aries. Tell him he's not cashing nothing in. And so they, like I said before, they just running rampant. They just doing whatever they want to. But that's what I like about it. It's just not really predictable. It's predictable, but it's not predictable. Okay, so before I get to the main event, also remember that WWE's Fastlane pay-per-view is coming up next week. Check your local listings for that. Check out the PWC on Facebook once again, and we'll add a link to that. So everybody, I'm gonna be ready looking for that to try to see what's going on with that. That's leading, the road leading to WrestleMania. Finally, we got the Angle Lashley tag team match against turns out to be MVP and Samoa Joe. And that turned out to be a good match as well. Entertaining, fast paced, a lot of hits, a lot of good wrestling. Uh, Towards the end, Kurt Angle goes for the ankle lock on Samoa Joe. I guess he was in the way of Lashley. Lashley was getting ready to go for a spear on MVP, and some kind of way MVP rolls him up, holds the tights, gets the 1, 2, 3, which is what I was talking about before. It's entertaining because not every week the heels win, not every week the faces win. WWE, you can pretty much predict who's gonna win because it's set up like, common sense. You know who's gonna win. You know if Seth Rollins is wrestling, Seth Rollins is going to win either by disqualification or the 1, 2, 3. Same thing. Too predictable. TNA predictable but unpredictable. So that's it. That is your week in review. 10, 11 minutes of everything that's happening on TNA. Also, what I'm doing is I'm setting up the PWC channel for my reviews on YouTube. Anybody who wants to participate from the PWC, anything dealing with wrestling, look us up on Facebook. I'm working out the details, the kinks, and everything like that. I'm gonna have a link where eventually we're gonna have like our own little quote unquote network, but it's not $9.99. No, it's totally free. You can go on YouTube, check it out. You can post your promos like Dex's uh, videos, review shows. Also check out In the Ropes with Matt. He's part of the PWC as well. So keep it locked, keep it tuned. Once again, I'm your host, Marcus Collins from the PWC. Was the TNA Week in Review. Thank you very much. Y'all have a great weekend.